follow or retire? He told her with a little shrug. You've made a lot of money these last years. I'm 31 years old, Emily said. I'm too young to retire, damn it. Then you gotta write sexier, he replied implacably. Emily's brow furrowed and she wrinkled her straight little nose. Write sexier? Impossible. Maybe not for some writers, but for her. Aaron, I have written for Stratford my whole career. I get great reviews. The readers love me. I have a reputation to uphold. Shit. I'm called the American Barbara Cartland. I fill a niche. Cartland's dead, and so are her sales, he said sanguinely. Besides, you're a much, much better writer than Cartland ever was, Emily. And you write bigger books with better plots, more texture prose, and interesting characters. But you gotta write sexier on this book you're starting, or I can't guarantee another contract. I wish it weren't so, and I don't disagree with anything you've said. But there it is, sweetheart. You write first for Stratford, and Stratford wants sexier. So much for loyalty, Emily muttered darkly. Then she remembered. Bad news and bad news. What else? She asked him nervously. Could there possibly be anything worse than what he had just told her? Rachel Wainwright is retired, he said, bracing for the outburst that was going to come with this news, and wondering if he should get out the smelling salts in his desk. I talked to Rachel late on Friday morning, Aaron. This is Tuesday. She said nothing about retiring. I think my editor would have mentioned that little fact. Emily responded in measured tones. They pushed her out, didn't they? J.P. Woods pushed her out. She's never liked Rachel, the bitch. She retired, Aaron answered stubbornly. There is no plot here. For God's sake, Emily, Rachel's 75. It was time she enjoyed that house up in Connecticut, and her longtime friend is going to be your new editor. You'll like him. Him? Emily's voice rose several octaves. Him. I can't work with a man. Michael Devlin is one of the good guys. Aaron attempted to reassure her. You want me to write sexier and work with a man while doing it? Emily's heart was pounding now. Her perfect, orderly little world was being destroyed, and she couldn't see any way to stop it. Of course, she could write her book, hand it in, and be finished with publishing forever. She didn't lack for money. But what would she do with the rest of her life if she didn't write novels? It was all she knew. Her passion. Her raison d'etre. She sighed. She didn't want to stop writing, and she wasn't going to, damn it. There had to be a way around this edict from Stratford. I've arranged for us to have lunch with Michael Devlin at that little English tea shop you like over on Madison. Then you can catch the train out to Egret Point. Today? I have to meet this guy today, and I didn't take the train, Emily said. I came into town with your sister. She wanted a day at Georgette Klinger. Then she'll do some shopping until I call her Sal. God, if she had known she was having lunch with a new editor, she would have dressed a bit more appropriately, worn one of her best-selling author power suits. She felt tougher in a suit. Rena's in town. He was surprised. His sister rarely came into town. She didn't tell me she was coming. He loved Rena, but she made him nervous. She didn't want to go to lunch with us, Emily said with a small smile. Sam says she's getting too plump and needs to take off a few pounds for her health. She's eating spa nibbles at Klinger's. You know how she gets on rabbit food. If she's laid off the donuts, she could drop her avoirdupois easily, Aaron replied. But don't tell her I said so. Emily laughed. I won't, but jelly sticks are her downfall, I'll admit. Then she grew serious again. I want to talk to Rachel before we go to lunch, Aaron. He got up from his desk and, walking around it, said, Use my phone. Don't waste your cell minutes, sweetheart. Rachel's Connecticut house is 7 on my speed dial. At her surprised look, he added, Kirk and I go up for weekends. Then he left the room. Emily stood up, walked around the desk, and settled herself in Aaron's comfortable big black leather chair. She heard a small click and turned to see that the connecting door between his office and Kirk's had been discreetly closed. Picking up the telephone, she hit 7 and listened to the electronic beeps as the number dialed itself. 1 ring, 2 rings, 3 rings. Please be there, Rachel, she thought desperately. Hello? Rachel's warm voice came through the wire. Rachel, it's Emily. What happened, and why am I getting a male editor? Rachel Wainwright's grandmotherly chuckle greeted her query. Have you met him yet? He's quite a hunk, Emily, she said. If I were 40 years younger, I'd jump his bones. Honey, it was time I retired. Actually, past time.